Hello, welcome to the First Games and Tea podcast. I'm Rob, also known as the Tea Master, and yeah, this is the first time that we've ever tried something like this at Games and Tea. Right, any of you who have read our blog in the past will know that the way that we tend to do our reviews is we'll have a two-part review. Part one will be the box contents, and then part two will be the gameplay and the final verdict. Card games we generally tend to put the two into the one article, but generally we split them up into two parts for board games. So what this is about is it's more of a first impressions type thing, where basically you're just going to open up a new game, have a look at the components, how easy it looks to pick up from a first glance, and just kind of talk about it as we go. So the game that we have got today is actually a Kickstarter one that was backed last year. It was actually due middle of 2014. Actually, it was backed the year before. It was backed in 2013. It was due mid last year, so it's about 7 or 8 months overdue. However, a good friend of mine has said, because he backs a lot of Kickstarter stuff, has said that anything which you get within 12 months of the estimated receive date is pretty much classed as on time anyway. So right, background noises. You might have just heard some mad rattling there. That's actually the bird feeder at the window, so you might hear that going every now and then. You'll also probably hear the creakiest floorboards known to mankind, so they will go off every now and then. I do apologise for that. And of course, it wouldn't be Games and Tea without games and tea. So if you hear the odd slurp, it's a nice cup of Twinings English afternoon tea. Yeah, I am not beyond giving Twinings a shameless plug. If I give them enough shameless plugs, maybe they'll send me some shameless tea. But probably not. Anyway, getting on with the unboxing. So like I say, this is a Kickstarter project. It has just arrived with myself a couple of days ago. And just to kind of give a more accurate first impression, I haven't even opened the box it arrived in yet. I have got sitting on the coffee table in front of me a plain white unmarked box in which is my copy of 3D Total Games 404 Law Not Found. So yeah, let's open it up and see what it's like. Right, while I'm just fighting my way into the box, I might as well tell you a bit about 404 Law Not Found. Anyone who is a bit of a geek at heart will probably know Isaac Asimov's 3 laws of robotics. Law number 1, a robot may not injure a human being or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm. Law 2, a robot must obey orders given to it by human beings, except where such orders would conflict with the first. And the third law is that the robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with Law 1 or Law 2. Now, the premise of 404 Law Not Found is that you are the robots manning an interstellar vessel, and basically you wake up one morning and your 3 laws of robotics are no longer there, and you're just free to run right around the spaceship. There's human scientists and monkeys and bananas and all kinds of stuff going on there, and it just seems a little bit chaotic, kind of fun to play as the bad guys. So that's why I went for it. Right, well, while I was just blabbering away there, I have now successfully fought my way into the box. So first thoughts, the actual box itself, production quality is definitely up there. I have backed Kickstarter projects in the past where nothing wrong with the artwork in itself, but by the time that it had kind of been blown up to full box size, it was starting to get quite badly pixelated. Not seeing any of that here. It looks like quite a nice sturdy box, nice solid build, clear print. So, off to a good start. Okay, I am in the box. What is in the box? Rulebook. Rulebook is always good. What appear to be player cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. So yeah, those are going to be the player cards. So rulebook again. Production quality on that is fantastic. Nice and clear. Good font size, clear images, good colour. Yeah. And okay, the player cards, again, good print quality and everything. They seem perhaps a little flimsy. I don't know how that's going to translate into gameplay. I don't know whether they're going to get dog-eared quickly. But I would have maybe expected those on a slightly thicker quality of card. And tokens. Well, tokens are good quality cardstock. Again, nice clear printing. They seem to punch out very nicely. So, yeah, still going well. Right, board. It's a board game, so the board is kind of important. Yes, I'm talking to you, BioShock Infinite's Siege of Columbia. It's really good to make an effort with these things. So, yeah, again, production value seems to be pretty much on the ball. Clear printing, nice double-sided board as well for, I'm assuming, 2 different game modes. And oh my word. Okay, 3D Total Games have just blown me away completely. They have, God forbid, included spare resealable polythene bags so that once you've punched your tokens out, you've actually got something to put them in. Why more people don't think of this, I don't know, but the most basic of things, and they've actually thought of it. Fantastic. And I'm actually going to take a photo of this to upload as well. The insert for the box is one of the nicest inserts that I've seen. I mean, it's not, well, okay, maybe not one of the nicest. It's a good insert. I mean, there's some fantastic ones out there where tokens will clip in and, you know, you can chuck it around the room, they'll never fall out again. But then you get some, again, looking at you, BioShock Infinite Siege of Columbia, where the game producers have just basically expected you to just lob all of your tokens into one big box and sort them out every time that you have a play. Now here they've got 3 fairly large sections, and then the 4th quarter, which would be another large section, is actually then subdivided into 6 smaller ones. So you've got sections for your tokens, sections for this deck, sections for that deck, sections for the other deck. It's brilliantly laid out. So yeah, kudos for that. Right, now robots. Now the robot token people, marker, plastic toy, whatever you want to call them. Now, these are... here we go, I've got one which stands up okay. Got 6 different coloured robot tokens. Got a grey, a red, blue, an orange, a yellow, a green. Grey is absolutely fine. He's standing up quite happily next to the microphone now. The others are all quite badly bent over at the ankles. Now, if this was something that I'd just kind of been and bought off the shelf at a local game store, then I'd probably be going, what the hell, this is just not good enough. However, one of the really nice things about 3D Total with 404 Law Not Found is that they have pretty much been keeping their backers up to date with emails and messages and so forth on pretty much a weekly basis since the project first finished. So in fact the latest update was update number 98, so they have really been keeping people up to date with what's going on. And in fact update number 98 was all about the robot figures, and saying that basically, unfortunately, they hadn't been specific enough in talking to their manufacturer about the way that the figures need to be packaged in shipping out to themselves, and basically apologising profusely for the fact that a lot of them were turning up bent like this. Now, a few have been turning up broken with some of the backers, and they have been offering a replacement service for them, which is brilliant. But they've also actually just uploaded a little video onto the Kickstarter page, just kind of showing you how to unbend the robots. And it's basically just a case of pop them in hot water for a bit, soften up the plastic, straighten them up, let them cool, and they'll be fine again. So the fact that, first of all, they've owned up to the problem, second of all, they've told us how to sort the problem out, and third of all, they've kind of admitted, okay, it's a learning experience for us. We know next time that we manufacture a game, we need to kind of iron this out with the with the producers. So because of the fact that they've kept completely on top of this, I'm not going to mark that down at all. I'm going to quite happily heat them up a bit later and get them sorted out. So miniatures, say, a bit bent, but no problem there. In terms of casting quality, I mean, you've got a bit of a mould line around the outside, but at the end of the day, these are playing pieces. They're not wargaming miniatures. This is to be expected. And they're actually quite a nice quality. There's enough detail on them to make them nice to look at. And to be honest, they are, I would say, probably around mid-level playing pieces that you get. I mean, on the nicest end of the spectrum, you've got things like your Zombicide figures, your Gears of War figures, the busts on Warhammer 40,000 Relic. So some of the playing pieces you can get are absolutely blooming gorgeous. And then on the very other furthest end, you've got things like again, I keep coming back to them, Siege of Columbia, terrible miniatures, zombies with the 3 exclamation marks, pretty poor. But these ones are nice, standard playing pieces. They're not going to blow you away, but you're not going to sit there looking at them thinking, well, I could have just made something better than that out of blue tack or something. Also, just in case anyone's listening who wasn't involved in the backing process, it's actually only £28 this game was. So, from what I've seen so far, physically, definitely got the £28 worth. Of course, just remains to be seen how the gameplay works out. So now, I've had a look at the board, I've had a quick flick through the rulebook just to see the quality of the print and everything. Player cards, tokens, playing pieces. Only thing that I've still got to have a look at now are, I've got 3 decks of cards all wrapped up in the box here, so I'm just going to have a quick look at those. Again, print quality is brilliant. Cutting around the edge of the cards is absolutely spot on. And artwork is nice. It's kind of a nice sort of simplistic style to the artwork, which I think works really well with the theme. From the point of view of someone who hasn't actually played the game yet, obviously, a lot of the language on it is a little bit confusing. However, some of them are making me chuckle a little bit. There was one a moment ago I found, here we go. There seems to be a whole series of chip cards with like pictures of circuit boards on them. And there's a haiku chip, which just says on it, flip at start of turn, all are one with the universe, humans do nothing. Don't entirely know what the context of that is, but, well, there's a banana chip here. Flip at the start of the monkey's action to gain a banana from the destroyed items pile. Why would anyone want to destroy a banana? Greed chip, remote chip, space chip. Oh, and there's some absolutely gorgeous artwork on some of these. Like I said, a lot of the ones that I've just been looking at were sort of simplistic style, but I've just flicked a bit further through, and yeah, there is some very pretty artwork on some of these cards. Right, so I've now had a look at all of the components just from purely a physical point of view, and in terms of manufacturing quality, printing, it is absolutely fantastic. It's a very, very professional looking game, and to be honest, that seems like the kind of thing which shouldn't really need to be said. I think even though Kickstarter projects are very much built from the ground up, I cannot but feel that by the time it reaches the people who have paid to back it and paid for a copy, that it should be of a professional standard. But unfortunately, the simple fact is it isn't always. Sometimes you'll get your game through from Kickstarter, and you will feel like you've just got a prototype in your hands or something. But in the case of 404 here, this very much, it looks and physically feels like a finished product, like something you would have bought off the shelf of a game store. So yeah, 100% credit to them for the quality of the manufacturing. So yes, unboxing of 404 Lore Not Found by 3D Total Games has definitely got me excited about trying the game out and seeing how it works. So I'm going to be having a flick through the rulebook. I'm going to be straightening out my robots, having a couple of test games just by myself before assembling the rest of the Games and Tea crew to see how it all plays through, and hopefully we shall very shortly have a review ready to post upon the blog. So yeah, well, thank you very much for listening to the first ever Games and Tea podcast. And yeah, if you want to follow us on Twitter, it's at games_and_tea. Facebook.com, we are simply Games and Tea on there. Or, of course, always just our blog itself, which is www.gamesandtea.com. Thank you very much.